I'm Durrell Watkins. I'm the senior pastor at the Sunshine Cathedral here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. In Fort Lauderdale this summer, 2010, July 12th through 16th, we'll be hosting the 95th INTA Congress. That's the International New Thought Alliance's 95th Congress. It'll be at the Hyatt Pier 66 Hotel here in Fort Lauderdale. To sort of prepare for this exciting annual spiritual conference, we are speaking with board members from the INTA, and today we're speaking with the Reverend Dr. Christopher Bazemore. Dr. Bazemore is a divine science minister. He is the dean of a ministerial school, the United Divine Science School. He is the pastor of a church in Largo, Maryland. He is a child psychologist. He is a writer and a teacher and a board member for the INTA. And it's a shame that you can't find anything to do to spend your time. That you're just so. I wish you were more industrious. But Dr. Bazemore is very, very active. He's a powerful speaker and wonderful teacher. And so we're going to be talking to him a little bit about why you should be coming to this 95th Congress this summer in Fort Lauderdale. In fact, he'll be one of the speakers, so you won't want to miss it. Dr. Bazemore, you have been part of liturgical traditions, Episcopal and Catholic, I think, and you were ordained in mystical sort of traditions, and then you found your way home to divine science. And so how can INTA be helpful to lifelong students like you, that you've been a seeker and a student, and then you find and you learn and you share, and then you find more and you learn and you share? How is INTA helpful for people like you that just want to learn and know more and more and more?
Right. I think INTA is an exciting place. Teresa of Avila always talked about the interior castle, where there's many, many houses, and you go into one room, you have a little bit there, you go into the kitchen, it's a little bit there. And that's how I see the International New Thought. You can pick up different temperaments, you can experience different prayer practices, and you can be informed in new places that you've never been. It's a stretch. And then you can be affirmed in places that you're familiar with. That's how I see it. And I think that that's what comes from these earlier traditions that I had experienced and then came into New Thought movement.
You are a divine science minister. That's where your path has taken you. But I've noticed, because I listen to you very intently, I've heard you speak many times now at three congresses, and then at the Universal Truth Center in Miami Gardens once. So I've become a little Christopher Bazemore groupie, and I've noticed that even though you were firmly rooted and grounded in divine science, you've quoted charismatic writer Agnes Sanford, and you've quoted religious science founder Ernest Holmes, and you've found quote Emma Curtis Hopkins. In fact, you gave a lecture, an academic lecture once on this teacher of teachers, and then of course you know Melinda Kramer, the divine science founder. So even though you're a divine scientist, you are familiar with things beyond divine science, and you seem to enfold it all into the one truth, into this broad, enriching experience. How does this deeply ecumenical approach to truth enrich your life and ministry?
Well, these are the teachers that you're bringing up are strong people who have major places that they stand in the movement, and they've pushed consciousness, their own consciousness, and they've also experienced pushing others into consciousness and form. Emma Curtis Hopkins has had many people to move from her experience into their own individual ministries. Ernest Holmes, and you can name them. And for me, this has been the excitement that you can really, I'm thinking of Agnes Sanford, you've heard me quote her, who really went to California to just treat for the safety of volcanoes, and here we have in the light of, in Haiti, this explosion. So the environment, the context of cosmology, and all of this, you will learn from people in international New Thought alliances. And I am excited about people who have major stances. They go into their inner laboratory and they bring it out, and then they get you involved in it. And that's what happens to me. I get excited about that I can be challenged where I stand, and I can read someone and go deeper in consciousness, and that's exciting for me.
That's a word you use a lot in your teaching, by the way, consciousness. You say that a lot. You talk about consciousness. If I have a sort of consciousness that seems to keep me trapped in unhealthy relationships, or in lack, or where I'm needing healing, but maybe I have a lot of fear around some issues where I'm not having a breakthrough. How would coming to an INTA Congress help me develop a better sort of consciousness that would help me have a better sort of experience?
Coming to a new thought in a conference is going to help you to just jump out of that. You have no business being in that place, and you will get permission to free yourself up from that nonsense. You will hear teachers. You will be able to brush up with people who have been trapped and who will tell you, I've left all of that behind. They have some people have even come and they've gotten married at the New Thought classes. This is things that you can expect. You're going to meet new friends. You're going to meet familiar people. You're going to meet people and you're going to say, I've been with these people all my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to meet like-minded people. That's what New Thought is going to bring you. It is a place that is really not into getting all into separation. It's an inclusive place. You know, so if you're alone, if you have been experiencing being alone, you're going to break out of all of that slavery.
Well, one last question for you, and this is, and you'll have an answer for this. Who should attend an INTA Congress, and what might they expect?
Everybody should attend. Everybody should attend. They should be prepared to have a stretch in consciousness, prepared to have new plans when they leave. They're not going to just come in dreaming and fantasizing. They're going to actually be able to touch people, talk to people, go to studies, conference, workshops, and then they're going to say, oh, it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to see that I can make major changes. We talk about prosperity teachings, we talk about health teachings, we talk about healing, we talk about deeper spiritual ways of living one's life.
Well, this year's Congress is going to be my fourth, and I can say that these last few years of attending have been life-changing for me. And so I want everyone to have that experience, and so I'm inviting everyone to the 95th INTA Congress here in Fort Lauderdale at the Hyatt Pier 66. To learn more about it, go to newthoughtalliance.org. That's www.newthoughtalliance.org, or you can email azinta@quest.net. That's QWEST.net. You can call 480-830-1074 or mail INTA 5013 East Broadway Road, Mesa, Arizona 85206. We want to hear from you, and we want to see you at the 95th INTA Congress in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.